Hello everybody, welcome to the Hub Belfast YouTube channel. As if a national pandemic or an international pandemic wasn't bad enough, now you have me presuming to beam my face into your email inbox and onto your computer screens. But unlike most times at chaplaincy or church on Sunday mornings, now is the opportunity to simply turn me off. Okay, now that we've lost Connor, welcome folks to the command centre here in my study in this room. Claire will be absolutely delighted that I have taken no opportunity whatsoever to clear the clutter that is behind me. You'll see my Liverpool gnome over this shoulder and the cycling gear that barely gets used these days on these shelves. If we're to do this a little bit more often, then there's no chance that I'm going to be able to keep this place in a state of readiness throughout this season, and so I figured better to start the way we're likely to go on. In any event, all that notwithstanding, I thought it would be a good opportunity to simply bring you all up to speed with where we're at as a chaplaincy, and just to say a few things by way of how we might get along from here as we all come to terms with the consequences of the obvious pandemic that's going on all around us. So it's been a challenging week, I'm quite sure, for every single one of you, just as it has been for us, and lots of people are having to make lots of decisions very quickly, and probably more often than not with all of the information, but nonetheless making the best decisions they can with the information available to them. And a huge shout out to each and every single one of you who no doubt are trying to do that on a daily basis. On Monday, for all of us, the world changed and changed rapidly, with the announcement that we were to avoid all unnecessary social contact and that people were really being advised to no longer go to public places. Since then, a lot of things have obviously happened from a chaplaincy perspective. So our cafe was closed immediately. In the next couple of days, it became very clear that all church gatherings should cease immediately, and so just to absolutely confirm that we are not going to be meeting at any time, either as a chaplaincy or church community or as a venue for other gatherings. So no church on Sunday mornings in terms of us gathering together as people. More on that later. Our cafe, unfortunately, was also closed, and which was a real source of regret and pain to the guys who've poured so much into it over this last year, and Ali and Fabia and Graham and all of the student volunteers have done so much to make that an amazing place this term. So a huge thank you to all of them. We've been working all week in the residency. We obviously had to advise students that they might consider that the best and safest place for them to be is at home, and I know many of you who are watching this who are residents have taken that opportunity and have decided to return home to be with your families. It's a real sharp, likely end to a year in accommodation, although we just have to wait and see whether or not the next few weeks and months hold out any hope that people might be able to congregate back together again in the city. At this moment, of course, that does look unlikely, but we shall wait and see. And I know that many of you will have been to university in the past, and so you can empathise and sympathise with those guys who are having the time of their lives at university, and all of a sudden that year's cut short, or perhaps even a final year is cut short with all of the uncertainty that brings. And so for our students, it meant that there was no student formal this week. It has meant that you haven't had the opportunity for your house end of year goodbyes, for your celebration times together at the end of a year, and just for the opportunity to mark what has been another fantastic year living in the Hub. And I really do just want to say a huge thank you to each and every single student who has lived here, who has come in and out of here, who has eaten here, who has worshipped here. You really do make the place so much of what it is. And wherever you are in the UK and Ireland, across the world, we really do hope and pray that you're safe and that you're well, and that you're with the people that you love, and that you will be a real support to them and they to you over the weeks and maybe even the months to come. We do want to pray for you during your time of studies online, and as the universities have some sort of thinking around how those studies might be assessed to complete your year end. A lot of it's up in the air. A lot of people are dealing with uncertainty, and I just hope and pray that you'll find your own way through each day and your own pace and your own pattern and rhythm of life. In this email, or in the email that's going to go out and accompany in this video, you'll see that some students took the opportunity to head up to Cave Hill on the day after they found out that the university would be closing, simply to pray for the city, for one another, for the chaplaincy, for the staff, and so on. And we're really hugely thankful and really blown away by that, and thank you for taking the time and for just doing that of your own volition, and for your heart for one another, and for your heart for this place. So a huge thank you to you all. To those who we didn't get to say goodbye to, we're really sorry that you just had to depart so quickly, and we didn't get to say a farewell. There will be many of you watching this who are in the workplace at this moment in time. Some of you at the front line of this in health services, and a huge thank you to you for everything that you're doing. It is so hugely appreciated, and you'll be under tremendous strain and pressure, and will need the support and prayers of so many people. And so please, everyone, if we can just be praying for those people, and for people who are carrying stock to supermarkets and other places, and for people who work in retail as they try to help customers get the vital goods that they need. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of people very concerned at this moment in time, people concerned about jobs, people concerned about their businesses, people concerned about their families, people concerned about elderly relatives, and the inevitable isolation that's going to have to follow, people concerned about their own personal health. There's a lot of anxieties and a lot of concerns. I remember a few years ago in chaplaincy, and we were talking about what does it mean to not be anxious or to do not worry. And Noel, who some of you will know, I remember saying wisely, better to worry with God than to worry without God. And so I really do hope and pray that as you make your way through these days and these months, that you will find some support and some comfort in worrying with God and worrying with others who can support you through all of this. A huge also shout out to our A-level students and our GCSE students, and for those who will know guys in those age groups who now are not sure how they get from A to B, how they get from being 16 and doing GCSEs to being 17 and doing A-levels, how they get from upper sixth to university. There's so much uncertainty out there, and we really are thinking of you all as well. In terms of what's next, well, again, in the email that's going out with this, we are trying to encourage us to stay in contact with one another and to use resources even like this, even if it pains you to have to see me up front on your screens, but to use resources like this and other online resources to stay in touch with one another throughout the next few weeks. So with that in mind, you can certainly look up on our website. You will find, for instance, the audio from last Sunday and from last Sunday's talk from Matthew 26. If you want to listen to that, if you didn't get the opportunity to get out to church, or you want to re-listen to that, you will find a version, an update from Katherine Hayhoe, or an upload from Katherine Hayhoe's talk, which was absolutely brilliant. And those who were there said that it was one of the best and most understandable theological lectures that we've ever done. I'm just afraid we can't fly Katherine from Texas every year to give those lectures, but she was absolutely fantastic. And if you want to watch that, you can, complete with all of the slides that she used on that night. We're also trying to gather in information of who is contactable, for instance, by Skype. Skype will allow us to do a video call with up to 50 users at any one point in time. And we're trying to think about different ways, for instance, that we can do small groups, or that indeed where we can congregate as a larger group, even perhaps once a week in some sort of virtual church world. That might sound like a horror show to some of you, and it might sound like something you're interested in to others. more than ever, we get to pick and choose. But if you are interested in that, in the email that accompanies this, we're asking whether or not if you want to share your Skype name and we can add you to a group, then we will certainly do that. We're also looking to things like Facebook. So for instance, we have a student centre closed group on Facebook where posts are only visible to people who are a member of that group. And we'd love to know whether or not you'd be interested in widening that out to others who maybe use Facebook but who don't live in residency. And so we could create a Facebook chaplaincy group in order to stay in contact with one another. During Lent, in the last number of years, we have used the season of Lent to encourage different people to write daily devotionals and then to share those with everyone using email or indeed using Facebook. And we're going to work on that, and we would love it if you would like to contribute to that and to let us know. There's a link in the description of this video and also in your email that will help you let us know whether or not you'd be willing to take part in that. IMYC are going to be streaming on their Facebook and Instagram page a service for young kids. The guys who pulled together Soulmates this Sunday night are going to be streaming a service for kids. So take a look at IMYC's Facebook and Instagram pages. We'll also try and send around the links so that maybe families with younger kids can line that up for Sunday evening as a way to have them have access to something over and above looking at someone like me or listening to sermons online. We're working on a few ideas for Sunday morning, thoughts, ways to perhaps use liturgy creatively, to continue a little bit of a journey through Matthew's Gospel, to allow time and space for people to read and reflect and to hear some thoughts from myself and or others. And as the weeks go on, we're going to really do what we can to stay connected. We don't want to inundate people, we don't want to annoy people, we don't want to overimpose who we are on you. But as I said, you have the luxury of simply saying no and hitting the X at the top right hand corner of your screens. I just simply want to thank each and every one of you for who you are and what you mean in a whole variety of different ways across chaplaincy. Undoubtedly, these have been testing weeks for an awful lot of people. We've had bereavements, we've had illnesses, we've had people facing personal challenges, and now we have this crisis that will last for a length of time that none of us knows. And through it all, just continually struck by the friendship and the support and the encouragement that people are and give to one another. So a huge thank you to everyone for what you give of yourselves in a whole variety of different ways to the different pockets of communities that gather around this place, and for the way that is a real source of support and encouragement and inspiration to everybody. If you're home and you have no one to help out, or if you need assistance, would you please let us know? We will do our utmost to help, care and support for people, and we are contactable by email, by telephone. Please do give us a call and let us know how we can help you, and or maybe even help people that you need to help but can't because you're not well. I think that's pretty much it for now, other than just to remind you that on Sunday morning we'll not be meeting, so we'll not see you all, but we will be in contact before then to think about ways and means of encouraging one another and not giving up on the habit of reading scripture, of prayer, of reflecting on who God is and what our place in the world is. I'm going to read just in closing from a Psalm 121, and I pray that this is of some comfort, inspiration, help, guidance at this time. But I'm just going to close with these words. I lift up my eyes to the hills. Where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. He will not let your foot slip. He who watches over you will not slumber. Indeed, he who watches over Israel will neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord watches over you. The Lord is your shade at your right hand. The sun will not harm you by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord will keep you from all harm. He will watch over your life. The Lord will watch over your coming and going, both now and forevermore. God bless you, everyone, wherever you are. We shall stay in touch, and we'll be in contact soon. Thank you. Bye.